Awareness awakening to itself can be simple, can be very complicated, and can be anywhere in between. But one of the things that awareness awakening to itself definitely involves, it involves shifts in perception, the way the world is seen, the way the world is viewed. And one of the things I want to talk about, because existence is so interconnected, you can pull on any one thread and it'll bring you here to the present moment. Any sense thread, whether it's hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling, feeling, and thinking, interpreting what the sense data has provided. And one's interpretation can change. And one of the things you hear about in the literature of awareness awakening to itself, non-duality, Advaita, Zen, Buddhism, Vedanta, is an idea of perfection. And this is simply my take on it, in an effort to assist me, self, and you, self, to perhaps explore looking at things a little differently. My sense of perfection has always been some kind of an ideal standard. Perfection is measured on a scale of 10. How do you measure against that? How do I measure against it? I measure a 4 or 3. I've got work to do. There is improvement to be had. Perfection is somehow a good thing. Perfection is a sign of excellence. But in the world of consciousness, in the world of awareness, everything in form is perfectly itself, without any other characterization or judgment as to whether it is good or bad, benign or malignant. It simply is as it is in itself, perfection. You take a cup. It is a perfect cup. You throw it on the ground, it breaks into pieces. Each individual piece is a perfect piece. There is none other than it. And in this sense, that everything is perfectly itself, you are perfectly yourself, and I am perfectly me. No other person can be Tony. I cannot be other than perfect Tony. Well, you might say, that's as clear as mud. What does that do for me in practical terms of living my life? Everything is perfection. Everywhere I look, I see everything is perfectly itself. What does that mean? How do I deal with my neighbor? Or how do I deal with my boss? How do I deal with my child, with my pets? How do I deal with life if everything is perfect? Does that mean that there's nothing for me to do? There's nothing to do? No, that's the wrong take away from this. It means don't be looking for right and wrong ways of living necessarily. Look at the exchange of information and energy that goes on in any relationship. Are you drawn to something? Or are you averse to something? Or are you neutral? The standard measurements. Positive, negative, or indifference. Look at the flow. Not right or wrong, just the flow of energy and information. You can be perfectly wrong, just as you could be perfectly right in your behavior. Whatever those terms right and wrong mean. There are no necessary answers in the world of consciousness. There are simply things as they are. And either your mind accepts that or rejects it or is indifferent to it. And frankly, problems arise because of one's worldview. We all have a worldview. That's what allows you to know that you're right and I'm wrong. You have an overlay through which you look at the world, a filter through which you look at the world. And that filter that we all have is what allows us to know that there is a mistake somewhere, that something is right or that something is wrong. We have a filter. We have a template of how the world is supposed to look like, feel like, smell like. And when something is contrary to that expectation, well, then something is wrong. I've got a problem. But when you get rid of that template, when you get rid of that filter, if only for a moment, then things are as they are. Everything is perfectly itself. Whatever that self may be, whatever it is, whether it is consciousness, it is awareness, it is you, it is me, it is life, whatever it is perfectly itself. This is challenging stuff. Awareness awakening to itself. It means taking off the filters that you have like glasses. Most of us walk around with these glasses, we don't even know we have them on. We may call it socialization, enculturation, learning, experience, whatever. We look, and wherever we look through the glasses. Our filters, our beliefs, our opinions, our assumptions, our knowledge. But take those glasses off for a moment. And what do you see? What do you see? Not the what do I see. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? When you take away your glasses and your ordinary orientation to things, do you feel a little lost? Do you feel a little scared? Do you feel a little confused? Do you feel like maybe you're losing your mind? Maybe you feel like you've lost your way. You don't know who you are or where you are anymore. So you reach out for the familiar, the normal, so-called normal. Yeah, maybe you go through all of that, but you've got to find out for yourself how this whole process of awareness awakening to itself is happening. Good luck.